All right, welcome guys. Today's video came back to something I started last week, but I ran out of time. This temple was getting ready to close, and so anyway, I didn't have time. I just took a couple quick pictures, and I said I got to go back and see this. So I came up from Bangkok today just to see this temple right here. So I'm standing right here in front of this temple, and excuse me if I butcher the pronunciation. Wat Na Phra Meru or something like that. Anyway, it's called the temple in front of the Funeral Pyre. There was supposedly maybe some royals that were cremated in this area, so that was how it got its name. It's been named a couple other things. But anyway, this is a spectacular temple. It was the only temple that was not looted by the Burmese. So the principal Buddha image and all that are still here. They were not taken by them. This was actually used as the base of operations for the Burmese when they attacked Ayutthaya, and there's a reason why, and I'll show you that here in a second. But anyway, the main Buddha is spectacular. They have a stone Buddha that's 1,500 years old that was brought here from Sri Lanka, and it's been restored. I think under the reign of King Rama III, this was abandoned after the Burmese captured Ayutthaya, and it was left abandoned, and there was no monks here. And then the governor of Ayutthaya invited this to be restored and told the monks to come back, and so the monks reside here again. So it is an actual active temple that has a ton of history. So let me show you around. So this is the temple, and it has some really cool architecture to it. I like the way they've incorporated the Buddhas into the gable up there. And then it has the marker stones, it has the bell tower, the crematorium. Everything is here because it is an active temple. Now the Burmese actually had their army set up here, and there was a lot of them. So they took over this area, and this is north of the actual former city of Ayutthaya. So the way the story goes is Ayutthaya was getting attacked by the Burmese, and you can see right here on the other side of that white car is the canal, and right there on the other side of the canal is the Grand Palace, or the former, the king's residence on the island of Ayutthaya. So the Burmese were able to set up right here, and they were actually able to attack across the canal with their cannons. And the story goes is the king of Burma, he was here personally, and he wanted to be the one to fire the cannon at the Grand Palace. So he lit the fuse, or it was what it says. Probably told somebody to do it. But anyway, the cannon, when it fired, it exploded and it injured him, and so he was gravely injured. And they took him back. They were taking him back to Burma, and he died in northern Thailand on his way back. So that's kind of a little interesting story. But I don't know why, for whatever reason, the Burmese did not loot this temple. So let's go inside and let's see this principal Buddha image, and then I'll show you this stone one from Sri Lanka that's 1,500 years old. So right in front of the hall, you have a place here where people can come and make merit. So they're lighting the joe sticks and all that you normally see. And then here's the marker stones outside of this. So the principal image is in the posture in here of subduing Mara. So let me go inside, take off the shoes. There's the Buddha image right in front. So they have like a metal mesh behind it to keep the birds out. And then inside, so this hall is gigantic. So this was restored in the reign of Rama III. So we're in Rama IX's kingdom, or Rama X now. So this was after the city was, or the capital was moved from Ayutthaya to Thonburi, and then moved to Bangkok. And King Taksin the Great is the one that moved the capital from here to Thonburi, and he was the only king in the Thonburi era. And then Rama I moved it across the river and to now what is Bangkok. So this is the principal Buddha image. And it's recognized as one that's like has an exceptional beauty for the region. And it looks quite a bit different than what you normally see. And then you can see all the people down here making some merit. And then they have actually some little stone rails right here, which I haven't seen that before. And then you can see all the inlay in the roof support. Yeah, this is quite beautiful. This is really a nice building. The whole thing is really nice. And you can see the window slits to give you some ventilation. And that's looking out at the Buddha that was standing by that wire mesh. And then right here they have kind of an interesting Buddha. Let me come around here. So here's the Buddha. There's two of them here. But you see him sitting on the throne. And it has quite a bit of different look to it. It's quite nice. And this is where all the Thais make merit, and they stick the gold leaf on these Buddhas. And then they go from here right over in front of there and pray. And then they have the standing Buddha and all that. But this hall is gigantic. So this is definitely worth a look just in itself for this this building. This is right here on the side, so you get a feel of how big this Buddha is. It is massive. And it's not the biggest one I've seen, but it's the artwork that they've done with it is quite nice. And then they have all the other little parts of the shrine in front of the Buddha here. Okay, so right next to the main hall is this little moon drop, and it has it's a square little building that has a Buddha inside of it that's in the subduing Mara pose. This one is named Prahaputtakanaranasorn or something like that. You can see the archway right over it is in the lotus shape. And there's the main Buddha hall, which is quite spectacular. And then right over here is the Chinese pavilion. So it has a Chinese Buddha inside of it. That used to be quite a popular style of Buddha around the Rama III era. And back over here is the crematorium. And then this little hall, this is where they have the stone Buddha. Okay, so this is the little praha that the sandstone Buddha's in. So this is the doorway when you first get ready to come in. And this in itself is worth coming to this temple. The bronze Buddha that's in the other one that's covered in gold is definitely worth it in itself. So here is this Buddha, and it's 1500 years old, and it was brought over from Sri Lanka. And inside of the temple are these murals that date back to King Rama IV. So the murals are like 130 years old or so, and they've kind of faded, but the historians have looked at them and said it depicts scenes of Bangkok life and all of that. So this Buddha is made out of green sandstone, and it's in the teaching position. So it's one of the earlier ones. And it was brought from Sri Lanka when Thailand sent missionaries over there to establish Buddhism on the island of Sri Lanka. And if anybody ever goes to Sri Lanka, it has the same sect of Buddhism as Thailand. So the temples and everything are the same. And then they have a picture here of the posture of the Buddha when he was dead. And that's actually in India, that statue. And then they have the monk here, and you can get a blessing and everything if you would like. So on the outside of the wall, you can see the last restoration, where they just basically slapped this white plaster over the top of the existing building. But they left the windows a little bit as they were. It would have been nice to see the way it used to look. So this is the back side of the building that has that stone Buddha. I guess that stone Buddha is like 1.7 meters tall. And then this is the main hall with that gold Buddha, and then you can see the marker stones, and then they have some old jetties. There's several of them, and we'll go take a look at them. There's supposed to be one more building here that's got the teak wood, and here is a stupa that's right behind the main ordination hall. So it has one stairwell that you could get up to it, and that's the only entrance right here. And it's damaged and it's never been restored. They say that the little base that contains the relic is still inside of it. So back here they have some of the jetties that are built. And this one here, this one looks like a fairly new one. It still has the pictures of the people. So they're probably big donors to this temple. And then they've wished to be cremated and their ashes are put here. And then this is one more hall. You can see all the decoration into the plaster and then the front of the building. All right, let's go inside. Oh, this is quite amazing. So they have, what they did is they built a hall over the top of this old little shrine here. And they've done all this in that teak wood. Oh, this is really cool. Never seen one like this before. And then here is a skeleton. The Thais have this really grisly practice of displaying like the remains of a famous monk or something like that. They will have them here and they'll be mummified sitting behind some glass. But it's what they do. So anyway, they have just tons of these Buddha images, all of them around, various poses, and some of the famous artifacts and stuff. And then they have the Buddhas for every day of the week. And some more of this structure. Yeah, this is really cool. I really like how they've done this. Keeps the elements off this. Or the old, they had a little room and stuff there. And this is the other side of where that Buddha image is at. Some more of the little structure that's covered. And then they just have tons and tons of these Buddha images. So this part here is really an active part of the temple. So you can see how they have all the mats for people to come and pray in front of the different ones. And Buddhism is incorporated like all these Hindu stuff. So you have like the Ganesh here, and then the different poses of the Buddhas. They have a place in here for the monks also. So there's no monk right here today, but normally he'd be sitting right here to give you the water blessing and do the little chanting with you, if you're so inclined. And then here's the goddess with the water out of her hair, and the old man Buddha. So they have pretty much everything in this little hall. All right, so the last thing we're going to look at here is outside of all the little halls on the back side of the temple. They have these 3 jetties. And this one right here has to be the coolest jetty I've ever seen in my whole life. Just check that out, how the tree has completely engulfed that entire jetty. I mean, if you just saw it from afar, you would just think it's a tree. Now, this one here is kind of interesting in that you can see right here is a Buddha face. So you can see that right there in the roots. And to me, it looks like a newer one that maybe they put in there to have the tree grow around it. But it gives them something to take a picture of anyway. But it's very similar to that tree you see growing in the tree at that temple in Ayutthaya, that Wat Mahahat. But this one is really, really cool. And then you can see the other 2 jetties, and just 3 of them lined up right over here on the back corner. And you can see the onion-shaped dome on the top. All right, that's 3. All right, one more look at these. So they say these stupas are in the late to middle Ayutthaya style. And you can see the plaster on that one right there with the little trees and stuff growing on both of these. All right, guys, so that finishes up our tour of this really, really cool temple, the Monastery of the Funeral Pyre. If you're ever in Ayutthaya, come here and check this out. This one is one of the best temples you'll see. I was really excited to come here and do a video, and I ran out of time, so I had to come back today. I made a special trip up from Bangkok to here just to see this temple, and it's definitely worth it. So getting here, it's just to the north of the island. So if you find the Grand Palace, you just cross right over the river and it's right here. And it's easy to pass by. You just kind of think it's a normal temple that, you know, the Thais are doing stuff, but it's got a lot of history to it. Like I said in the start of the video, this temple here is the only one that wasn't looted by the Burmese when they captured the city in 1767. And the Thai Royal Palace was bombarded from here by the Burmese cannons, and the Burmese king and everything was injured and died. And so it's kind of an interesting story. So anyway, guys, if you like the video, make sure you click like and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and share it with your friends if you want. And the main thing is subscribe if you're not subscribed now. I post a lot of content, so if you want to be kept up to date, you know, you'll be notified. And if you want to know something more, or if you've been to this temple, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. Or if you haven't been here and you want me to see something different, tell me in a comment also. If you want me to go make a video of here or there, I'll do my best. And as always, guys, remember, life is a journey, so enjoy.